among the people. That's one of the reason. In fact, I just wanted to mention this actually. And in fact, I think Sharma ji also was asking me, what is this type you are mentioning? Then I just gave him the full description, what exactly I'm going to present. So with that, actually, thank you so much for the nice introduction. I just wanted to present across everybody on this particular topic. About valuation profession, one of the very beautiful quote I just saw from the Australian Council of Professions. That is one of the valuation council. You can see here. A profession is a disciplined group of individuals, true, who adhere to ethical standards and who hold themselves out as and are accepted by the public as possessing special knowledge and skills in widely recognized body of learning derived from the research, education, and training at a high level, and who are prepared to apply this knowledge and exercise these skills in the interest of others. It is true. See, whatever we learned in IBBA, whether it is accountancy, statistics, or whatever it may be. So all these skills, all this knowledge, we are going to apply to our exercise and do the valuation for others, which is more important. This is what I most likely. Then we'll go to our subject. Before going in for that, actually, I just wanted to present one important thing. Let us understand actually what is residual method, where we are deriving from the residual method. Let us first understand this. You all know that market approach, one of the very important approach among market approach, cost approach, income approach. So these are all the things actually we have come across. And the most important thing is a market approach. And there are two things are there in the market approach, two types. One is sales comparison method, that is direct comparison. The other one is, let me increase. The other one is indirect comparison. Indirect comparison, that is called a residual method. So in the direct comparison method, what are the things are there? Adapt comparison technique, that is HPM, and adjustment grid model, and price quality regression technique, and weightage score method. See, this weightage score method and adjustment grid model, most of us used to do it. And in fact, I am planning to take one more session also. In fact, I want to convey to Sharma ji that grid model and weightage score method is one of the wider applications used in the market approach, where see, wherever you may not able to compare the property in a similar kind of a property. Suppose the property will be in the main road, in the proximity will be more, and it will be in the main area. The other property will be a little bit inside actually. So we'll have to give a weightage. What are the different kinds of things are there, and weightages which has to be given and compared. This is one kind of it. And coming to the sales comparison, indirect method or residual method. The actual sale basis, that is owner
Sorry
occupied.
for interruption, Pandian sir.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Sir, your presentation is not in a presentation mode. I think it is a PDF file. That is why this is happening. So if you press Control L, it will become into a presentation mode. Kindly do that because
Control
the
L.
slides are not
No,
very
no, no.
clear.
I have just given PDF only.
Okay.
I'm just
So just
giving
press Control L. It will come to presentation mode.
Control L. Yeah, it is there in the presentation mode only. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Now is it okay, sir? There are two files are there. One is PPT. Now I am taking only PDF Word file. I convert it into PDF. This is what I am taking now. Now is it okay to some extent?
Much better, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is what I just want.
Okay,
Some
sir.
interaction is required actually. And actual sale basis. This is owner occupied. And hypothetical building scheme, that is owner occupied hypothetical, that is comparison, and we'll have to work out on the hypothetical scheme. And the last one is hypothetical building scheme, which is on the income concept. See, there are owner concept, income concept. So this, we are going to see some of the things in the working examples we are going to see. And let's go into that. My PPT will come later on. What has happened? Yeah. First, let me explain to you on this what exactly, that is why. Okay. In common, in the marketing approach, there are main important thing is, for all the above, whatever it is, we need to study the demand and supply, land characteristics, and its effect on the value. What are the effects will be on the land, whether it is a corner plot or return flat or inside flat or landlocked plot, or all these things will be taken into that. And building type, the most important is the building specification which has to be seen, and the user and age, and what are the amenities which are given, what is the special in the property, and laws governing to real estate. The most important thing is zoning, and what is the regulations which is giving, and any other TDR is there, whether it is any other special attention is there on the land. All these things has to be taken into consideration. Finally, attitude and expertise of buyers and sellers in the bargaining. A valuer is the only person who can able to analyze the people's mind. See, for example, one of my client was telling me, sir, my land is worth 1.5 crore per acre, which is adjacent to the road. And in fact, actually, what happened, we have taken the opinion of the client, but we are not following that. When we met most of the buyers or any brokers or real estate agents, we went across with all the people. See, one of the more important thing for the values is interaction, discussion, collection of data, which is more important. So when we started talking to the people, they were telling, sir, yes, there are properties for 1 crore only. It is not 1.5 crore or 1.5 crore or more than that. It is 1 crore. So when we started discussing with other people, it started saying 75 to 1 crore. Okay, then what we did, actually, we know that the buyers and sellers bargaining, that is more important. That is what I just want to mention here. And various other characteristics of the property and market forces influencing the market prices, how this has to be taken. Economic factors, that is micro and macro level. Macro level in a big way in the national level, and micro, which is in the smaller level. And physical technical factors needs to be considered, and social factors, what are the environmentally, what are the effects are there, and what is the other social factors which is going to be governed on the property. And legal factors, what are the legal factors is there, easement is there, whether whether the agreement is correct or something like that. Okay, then coming to the most important thing is limitations of the market approach. Let's see this in the final. I'm not going into that actually. Then we'll go to the working examples. I just wanted to show it to you. The market approach, which is a development method which governs residual technique, that is owner occupied, and the residual technique, which is tenant occupied. This is the second one, owner occupied and tenanted occupied. Then coming to the hypothetical building scheme, which is a ownership concept. See, there are different concepts which is has to be worked out, and we need to understand on that. This is one of the concept is owner concept, and hypothetical building scheme, which is an income concept. How the rented building, which has to be taken out for the land rate, we'll have to find out. In general, all these things, actually, the residual method is nothing but we need to see, if suppose the land rate is non-known in that area, we need to find out the land rate. This is where this method will be used or adopted. And in fact, many of the court, actually, they say that this development method, residual technique, has to be used as a last resort where it is not possible. Yes, we wanted to find out the land rate. In that period, actually, this has to be used. For me, actually, what happened, one of the case, actually, for the land acquisition case, that is a prime area. And in fact, we got a lot of apartments surrounded by that area they were developing. We got the flat rate was there. That is total combination of composite rate for the entire thing. But we don't have the land rate. Land rate is very high. The comparison and whatever the government recommended for the.
So sorry for the interruption, sir.
Yes.
I am Balasubramanian from Tamil Nadu, sir, Karaikudi.
Yes, sir.
Sir, one bank has asked me to value the one property in outskirts of the town. They built so many shops, but all shops are vacant. There is no occupancy details. How can I value this? This
Sir,
is whether I have to go for hypothetical or land and building. Land and building is a rented property. We cannot go for the
No.
market value.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. It is a rented property,
rented property, there is no
You,
occupation at all.
but in that area, actually, any comparable rent is there?
This is far away, sir. The
Uh,
property is outskirt of the town, but there is no, in the vicinity of the area, there is no shop or building at all.
Generally,
But the
what happens?
party's interest only they built the complex.
Acha, acha, acha. Okay.
Mm,
Sir, there are two things are there, sir. One is
mm,
you say
mm,
that there is a place which is very far away, there is a place is there, for which
mm,
actually there is a rate is there. Am I correct?
correct, sir.
Can you just adapt the weightage method or grid approach method?
Mm,
In the weightage method, actually, you can adapt a weightage. Suppose
mm,
you are
mm,
getting 10,000 rupees for the market area, and
mm,
this area is doesn't have any market. You can
mm,
give a weightage.
mm,
Suppose the frontage and the approach and the area, all these
mm,
things actually you can govern some weightage, and you can
mm,
give that weightage actually negative weightage you can give, and you can reduce that rate from that area. That is one
mm,
approach you can do. The
mm,
second one is,
mm,
suppose you are having not having in that area rent.
mm, mm.
Suppose you are having the very famous prime area, that rent is there. In this area, can you just imagine, assume some rate can be assumed? Is it possible?
Possible, sir, but
Yeah,
the
that no, no, I'll complete, sir.
possible.
Let me complete, sir, please.
Okay, please complete, sir.
See, what we can do, we can assume that particular rate actually, and
Mm.
the return of yield method of return. So rate of return, how much you can consider? From 8% normally for the commercial, not on the rent
Commercial.
controlled property. Rent controlled
Mm.
property mean you'll have to
It's not
follow.
rent control, it's a
No, no,
newly
no.
built.
Correct, correct. Rent control
Mm.
mean you'll have to follow only the government
Follow the section 4,
rate.
etc.
Correct.
Mm.
But this property is a
Mm.
owner occupied property. You can
Mm.
consider what is the fixed deposit bank rate today? 5%.
5%.
You can adopt 5%. You can say,
Mm.
you'll have to mention. See,
Mm.
whenever actually what happens, whenever you are doing any property
Mm.
value, you'll have
Mm.
to do it in two method, and you'll have to cross check. If you cross check,
Mm.
definitely you can get. And
Mm.
this particular methods are, you should
Mm.
have some comparison should be there. If the
Mm.
comparison is there, then adoption will be very easy, sir. Sir, for
Mm.
any of our valuation, the
Mm.
most important thing is assumption is more important. Assumption should not be questioned by anybody. They should not be assumed in a wrong way. These are all the things to be considered in our valuation, sir.
Mm.
Shall I
Sir,
continue? We'll
okay, sir.
discuss in the more in the.
One more question, sir. One more question, sir. Shall I go for London building method for this bank? Has asked me to insist the London building method. How can
Generally
I can put?
bank, no, generally
Uh,
bank actually they will be asking for, if it is a flat, it will be better to do that in the composite rate method, because
mm,
what has happened in the in the flat actually it will be UDS area, whereas
mm,
in this separate building, this is a land and building method, cost approach only need to be adopted. Okay,
mm,
when you do the cost approach, actually what has happened, there is one more thing is there,
mm.
that is income, that is rental
Income.
yield method of approach. This can be assumed, and we can take some figure, and we can work out and compare, and
Mm,
after comparing that you can give. So generally we do a lot of flat valuation in Chennai. What we do, sir, we have a simple Excel format we have for three approaches. That is, one is land and building method, the other one is rental yield method, the third one is composite rate method. You know that the very tricky situation for the composite method is, you need to take a land component, you need to take a building component, and the depreciation has to be done only on the building component. And many
mm,
of the values I have seen, actually they have taken on the total of the flat, which is wrong actually. So what we
mm,
used to do, we used to take that, and land and building method also we used to take. And apart
mm,
from that, rental yield method,
mm,
in that area, suppose
mm,
12,000 rupees is going, we'll
mm,
calculate all these things together, we'll
mm,
compare that, we'll compare
mm,
that. But finally what happened, when we are confident on that, then we will address in our report, land and building method has been adopted, that we'll write very clearly.
mm,
This particular property, which is a
mm,
land and building, it is not a
mm,
combined or UDS or anything, because it
mm,
is entire shop is owned by a single person.
mm,
So this is how we will to address. This is what we addressed recently also.
mm.
Shall
As
I
far
go
as the
ahead?
bank, as far as the bank is concerned, they need forced sell value.
Correct, sir. Correct,
How can I
correct.
put the forced sell value? After,
Sir,
after arriving the open market value, fair market value, and then the forced sell value.
for sale
But
value, you can percentage, sir. That is what we used to adapt.
some
Distress
20%
sale
etc.
value, we used to have 75% and
Okay,
80%. This is how we are
80%.
taking. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
okay,
based
sir.
on that only, they also will take that, sir. Whenever you are giving a fair market value, whenever they are going for a NPA, they will have
Mm,
some consideration with the bank is there. Whenever they are
mm,
going for a
mm,
reserve price,
mm,
but they are more interested on the distress sale price also.
mm,
This is how it will be taken.
mm. Okay, sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Sir, let's have
Thank you,
more
sir.
discussion. No problem. Please.
Okay, sir.
So, the market approach development methods, what we are having is a residual technique owner occupied, residual technique tenant occupied, and hypothetical building scheme and owner concept. And hypothetical building scheme, which is having an income concept. This is what exactly is there. And coming to residual technique owner occupied building, under this method, the depreciated cost of the building or a scrap value of the building is deducted on the basis of actual sale price. This is how it is done. This is done to find out the net land value. The formula is R equal to C minus S by A. That is R is rate of land and S is the scrap value of depreciated cost of building and A is the total area of the plot. This is how so that actually, for example, let's see one example. A ownership flat in a old building sold a fully developed area in city. Area of the flat is 1,500 square feet, sold for 450 lakh. This is for an example. This is a working example. So FSI of area is 2. Depreciated cost of building is 18 lakh. See land rate, how we can do? We know that actually total cost of the property is 450 lakhs and minus that developed area is now 18 lakh. Depreciated cost of building is 18 lakh, so that we are reduced. Divided by area of the flat, which is 28 lakh 800 is per square feet is the rate. So FSI is 2. So FSI area, land rate for FSI area will be 2 into that area into 10.765, which is equal to 6 lakh 20,000 rupees. Of course, the 10.765 point I missed. So this method of land is arrived from composite value of land and building are likely to lead grossly incorrect results. However, this method is applicable when all other methods fail and there's no other application. See what has happened. Even rigs also they say that you apply two methods and work out that and then you take the decision. So after completing that, actually we need to take a decision. In fact, many of the we are doing for many of the insolvency work actually. When we do that, actually what we used to do, actually we used to cross check with the other method. We never just do that just like that. Actually, we used to do that to take care of us actually when whether the rates has been given properly, whether rates has been given correctly or something like that, we need to do that. Then coming to the residual technique of tenanted occupied, the and appurtenant to the tenant building is estimated at nil value. Suppose a big plot is there in which a corner is land in the corner of the land there is one property is there, old building is there. In that building it is tenanted building is there. We are not developing anything on that particular land. The balance area will be developed. That is how there actually it will be estimated as a nil value. That it is the rent control property. This is how it will be taken. Let's see some example here. A property with 1,400 square meter area and with a 3-story rental residential building in one corner of the flat is sold in February 2012 for 45 lakhs. And built up area of the rented building is 200 square meter. The FSI of zone is 1. So it's so easy to work. So we have taken like that. Net total rent received from 12 tenants of the building is 4,000 per month. And calculate the derived rate of land from this sale by a residual technique. Let's see here. Value of the tenanted building by rental method is 4,000 into 12%. We assumed here 12%. Into, see, we are finding a net value of the property, capital value of the capital asset of the value of the building. So that means what? Net income divided by YP. We have taken 12 months, 4,000 into 12 months. That is the total amount which are getting in the per annum. Divide by YP, that is 8%. 8% has been taken as a YP here. So 8%, that is what that 100 we have taken. 12 into multiplication. So that will be comes to 6 lakh rupees. The total sale price of the entire property, including land, which is 45 lakh. So less building value, what we have arrived at that is 6 lakh. So 6 lakhs, if you minus, the net sale value will be 39 lakh. Okay. Unutilized balance FSI area available in the plot is 1400 minus 3 into 200, that is 3 floors, 200 square feet. That is equal to, you think 800 square feet will be the area. So the rate of land will be 39 lakhs divided by 800, which gives you 4,875 per square meter. See, the value of 600 square meter land, which is land appurtenant to the tenanted building, is estimated at nil value. So assuming that it's a rent control property, this is how we are taken up for the ownership concept. Okay. Now let's see that hypothetical building scheme, that is owner concept. This technique of land valuation is an indirect method of deriving land rate by residual technique and not by direct comparison of open land on sale. This technique involves preparation of hypothetical building project scheme first. See, any valuer, what we'll have to do whenever we are doing a comparison with the hypothetical system, we need to know the zoning. We should know that what is the regulation, rules and regulations are in the DCR. That is more important. The valuer is required to work out the value of the flat, shops designed and planned under the hypothetical building scheme. After deducting profits, cost of construction, management expenses, and other outgoings involved in the implementation of the project from the total sale proceeds and net values are worked out. That means you'll have to take the total value, then minus whatever the expenses are there, that has to be reduced. This is how it has to be done. Then coming to the net balance values are taken as a value of the land component, and the land rate is derived from a basis of the area of the plot. So this method to be adopted with a great caution. Yes, I told you, because wherever the assumptions are there, we need to see that more caution has to be taken. For example, discounted cash flow method is widely adopted across the internationally. Any country, if you take, they will be doing only discontinuous cash flow method. And whenever you are doing the discontinuous cash flow method, the assumption has to be taken in a very great care, and the percentage of interest which you are going to adopt to be taken care in a great care, without which actually you will not get the end result. So this method to be adopted with a great caution, because courts are not much in favor of this method for finding out the fair market value of the property. But this I just want to tell you, because some area without which actually we may not able to know. So in that case, actually we need to adopt this particular valuation. That is how it is being adopted. Then let us see one example of this for this particular method. A developer decides to purchase a property having a following details of area of the plot: 1,800 square meter on a tenanted building of a ground floor existing in the plot. It has 500 square meter built up area. The total rent income is 2,500 per month and FSI is 1. The replacement cost of the building is 8,500 per square meter. The present sale price of flats in the locality is 50,000 per square meter. Expected developer's profit is 15% on the sale value, and interest on borrowed capital is 12% on 50% of salvage value for 1 year or half a period of construction. And assumed settlement period with the tenants at 2 years, and legal cost to that settlement is 1 lakh. And the scrap value is at rupees 600 per square meter. Advice on fair price for a land price to be offered on the vendor. So let's see that how we are working out here. The total built up area under hypothetical building scheme is 1,800 square meter. Tenants rehousing will take up minimum 500 square meter area. Net saleable area is 1,800 minus 500, which gives you 1,300 square meter. So net realizable sale value will be 1,300 square meter at rupees 50,000 per square meter. Now the total value will be 6 lakh, 6 crores 50 lakh. This is the net realizable sale value. So actual sale area will be much more than this area, because there will be a free balcony area and other areas are also will be there for the sale. In addition to the permissible FSI area, the sum will be not realized immediately. True, any project it is not immediately possible. The project of this magnitude may take even 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years for a sale of all flats in the project, for a full realization of estimated sale value. That is to get back the entire money for a period of 2 years. So it is therefore proposed to defer a value of 12% for 1 year, that is half a period of realization of total sum. We are working out the 0.892 is working out through the discount factor method actually. That is 1 divided by 1 plus r to the power n. So which you will be getting with the 12% and 1 year. So 6 crore 50 lakhs multiplied by discounted factor, which is 0.892, that gives you 5 crore and 79 lakhs 80,000. So let us see the total expenses here. What is the building cost? 1,800 into 8%, which is equal to 1 crore and 53 lakhs. Developer profit, we have taken 15 lakhs of 650 lakhs, which is 9750. Interest rate, that is 12% on 325 lakhs. Half of the portion we are taking. So that means 3 lakh 90,000. Legal expenses, we assume 1 lakh, and the total expenses will be 2 lakh, 2 crore and 90 lakhs and 50,000. The net income of the project, let us find out. Net income will be total 579 minus 290, which is equal to 289.30. Scrap value, we have told that 500 at 600 square meter. So it will be 3 lakh. So the total income of the project will be 2 lakh 89,030 plus 3 lakh, which is equal to 2 crore 92 lakh 30,000. What is the land area? 1,800. So total income divided by the land area, which is equal to 16,238 square meter. See, the developer may offer total price not more than 292 lakhs for this property. Correct. It should be noted that the deferred land rate without tenant, if the tenants are there, that it has to be treated as a nil. The incomes could be high as 32,200 per square meter. If full land rate 5,000 square meter is adopted, it is a differentiate. We can work out and see. However, due to liability of free rehousing of the tenant, the land rate has been dropped down to almost off. This is how it has to be worked out for the hypothetical scheme on the ownership. Hypothetical scheme, building scheme on the income concept. So let us find out this income concept also. And in fact, one of our friend has asked for the question that how I can able to adapt. Yes, we can adapt this actually apart from weightage and grid method, and we can adapt this and we can give the weightage. From that weightage, we can reduce. That is how we can able to calculate. And this is not much used in rent control property. This method used to find out a probable land price that could be offered to the landowner. So the profitability of development project is based on the probable income receivable from the redeveloped property. The rental rates prevalent in the locality are found to be market survey of instances at the rental, and probable expenses are estimated. Correct. The capital value of the hypothetical building project is worked out as if it is completed. Always assumption. We need to assume and do the working. From the total capital value of the hypothetical building, the estimated cost of construction and other expenses except developer profits are deducted, and the surplus is offered to the property owner. That total surplus is offered to the property owner. The entire scheme is based on the investment theory. See, please kindly understand, the entire property is based, entire theory, everything is based on the investment theory, on the basis of fair return, whatever the returns we are expecting, the expected rate of returns on the investment. Let's see the final one.
Why developers profit is not deducted?
Sorry, sir.
Why developer's profit is not deducted.
Because actually the property is yet to be sold, sir. The property has to be sold out, sir. See what has happened. We are deferring that for so many 1 year or 2 year, whatever it may be. Till such time is interest is also there. He has constructed. He has kept open. He has not taken out the money. That is also included in the cost of the entire property. That is why it has not taken. Coming to this problem, let us see here. An investor decides to purchase the property by undertaking building project for a regular rental income. The relevant details of the property is given as under. Area of the plot is 2,500 square meter and permissible FSI is 1. Zoning of the plot is commercial and prevalent rental value of the built up area of the offices in the locality is 200 per square meter per month. The property taxes rupees 50 per square meter per month and the building construction cost is 8,000 per square meter. Expected rate of return on the investment. Expected rate of return is 12%. Adapt insurance at 0.5% rent and collection and repair maintenance expenses at a 5%. Calculate the land price that could be offered to the landowner by residual technique method. Let's see here. This is the last one. The built up area of the offices is 2,500 square meter. The total amount receivable income is 2,500 into 200 into 12, which is equal to 60 lakhs per year. Let's find out the probable outgoing. The property taxes 2,500 into 50 into 12, which is equal to 15 lakh. Repairs 5% of the grass amount, that is 5% of 60, that is equal to 3 lakh. Insurance, so this is only a model working. This is for our understanding. And insurance is 30,000 and 3% of GR collection maintenance is 1 lakh 80,000 and total expenses and outgoings is 20 lakhs and 10,000 per year. So let us find out the net income, that is GR minus expenses. 60 lakhs minus 20 lakh 10,000, which is equal to 39 lakh 90,000. And the investor decides to have a yield of 12% on its investment. The capitalizing a net income of 12% in a perpetuity, we get a capital value of the land and building, total sale price, which is equal to 39 lakh 90,000 divided by YP, which is 3 crore 32 lakhs 50,000. This is the value. But a full rental income is not likely to start at least for 2 years period. About 1 year will be required for construction and 1 year to find out all tenants for premises available in building. The value is therefore deferred at 12% for 1 year. That is half a period of commencement of the full income. Now, the net present value will be how much? The deferred is with a discounted factor, which is coming to 2 lakh 96,000, 2 crore 96 lakh 59,000. So the expenses completing the whole thing, building cost, architect fee and advertisement fee and legal expenses, all put together it is 2 crore 10 lakhs and 60,000. The present worth of realizable property is 2 lakh 96,000, sorry, 2 crore 96 lakh 59,000. Expenses 2 crore 10 lakh. Net value will be 89, 85, 99. The investor could offer for a purchase of a plot land price not exceeding a sum of rupees 86 lakh. Now coming to the findings here. Here it should be noted that the interest on a borrowed on capital is not considered in the working. The investor proposed to invest his own funds in the project for a monetary gain. Hence, the question of borrowing outside funds and pay interest on the same does not arise here in this problem. However, if the investor borrows fund from outside, the interest should be allowed for corresponding price to be offered. Will
But
reduce.
opportunity cost will be there, no?
Yeah, we can add, sir. We can add. Definitely, we can add. You are right. We can add. So, therefore, the certain other aspect which should be also be considered in this working. What are they? There is a risk on rental yield falling at future date of depending upon the demand and supply condition in the locality. Money market situation and financial economic policies of the country. This is one of the most important thing one has to understand. There may be a vacancies in the offices which may result in fall in forecasted rental yield. Appropriate weightages should be considered for this aspect. And in fact, a friend of mine, Balakrishna sir, was asking, Sir, there actually there is no rental is there. Somehow we have constructed. One beautiful thing I just wanted to share my experience here. There was a village which is in the ECR. That is one of the best road across East Coast Road in Chennai, from Chennai to Pondicherry. In that actually away from coastal, there is one village is there. In that village, one Marwadi. Somehow he liked that village. He purchased some property, land, agricultural land, and apart from that, actually he has constructed a nice building, a nice palatial building. He started constructing this because the seashore is away, maybe 10 kilometers. He wanted to construct a kind of a rest house, and also started giving it to the people who are coming and staying there for some time, like his friends or something like that. He started giving. There is a question was there. There is no comparable sale price is there. The building is such a very fantastic building with all amenities. Jacuzzi is there in the terrace. Jacuzzi is there, and very beautiful garden is there. So there actually there is no comparable is there. Nobody is willing to buy that house. It is such a very fantastic, very big building. How you do? How do you value the building? So this is the question. When come to the land and building method, the land rate may not be a very big land rate, but whatever the building cost, that building cost actually we can work out. We know that by analysis we can do, by actual quantity surveying method also you can do. So when you calculate that particular thing, actually you will get the whole thing. But when you do all these things also, what we can do, we'll have to do with some comparable method. What? Nearby, that is 10 kilometer in the radius, there is a ECR is there are a lot of buildings are there, we get the comparison. When you go to the web portal, you will get a lot of comparisons will be there. We take that, we take and compare that with a weightage and a grid model. Both we can work out and see that, and appropriate weightage has to be given to deduct the cost. That is how we can work out the cost. This is one of the method we can adopt. Okay, now having seen the method, what we are going to see that, let's see that what exactly the limitations for the market approach. The methods are under market approach have the following limitations. Very carefully see, very interesting. Sale comparison methods its own limitation due to comparison of properties. True, it is not so easy. Like human being, there are no two exact identical properties available in the market. True. The valuer has therefore to identify the number of attributes to each other property which do not compare well but differ. The valuer has to make adjustment. That is what I told you, weighted. For this difference, and this task is very difficult. True, it is a very difficult task, but we need to do. We need to adjust. We need to find out what is the discount we can able to give for that particular property which is away, which is unable to do any value for that particular building. Due to lack of scientific and correct market data, it is very difficult to assess the and arrive at the correct and precise positive and negative weightages for a difference in attributes of two sales under comparison. Yes, we need to give that. And market study and the statistical results and the study of sales are necessary for accuracy of weightages. And in fact, actually, there are a lot of things has been given with regard to the weightages. Uh, Maybe I will share it to our group. Actually, what are the weightages are there for your usage? Generally, what are the weightages are covered actually, and how much weightages can be given and compared? That I will just give it to the group. You can take use of it. The wide range of rate of difference is noticed in some locality during the same year. Yes, there are possibilities. The disparity in rates offers a great difficulty in select correct sale instances for comparison. It is a great task. You are a scientist. A valuer is complete known of entire subject, and it is a difficult to find out distress sale or a special price from the sale data list of several sales that has been taken place in the locality during the relevant period of time. Very correct. See, for an example, we have got one property to be valued. There is no sale rate is there, but in that industrial area there are some buildings are there. Finally, we got a sale notice of that property that is nearby to that what we are doing evaluation near to the property. We got the sale price, which is a action sale notice was there. When we just started calculating the whole thing, we can able to find out that the area, the land area, which work out as per the sale notice is from that value to this value. So we got the value. Then coming to the next one, what is the other attributes are there? Comparables. Whether this is similarity is there, whether it is a frontage is more, whether it is a narrow, whether it is from the main road is there, whether all facilities are there, whether everything is connected with a very good road. See, all comparison has to be studied. Then only we can able to adapt. So the method of comparison of sale is not useful for non-marketable properties like school, colleges, and temples, etc. True, you may not able to get the similar comparison. The sales available in the locality may not only differ in land characteristics, but may also differ from viewpoint of time angle, situation angle, calling for further adjustments in the rate. See, these are all the things I am just giving that actually for our understanding. What are the limitations will be there in the market approach? So, uh, the intentions of transacting the parties and circumstances prevalent at the time of sale are never known unless valuer knows seller or buyer personally. This is a very difficult task because we are not interested in knowing any seller or buyer, but we are interested to find out the real value of the land. This is what our task. Sometimes no sales are available in the concerned locality or award for the required year of valuation. Valuer has to then adopt sales adjoining awards of the same year or adopt. So these are all some of the difficulties and limitations. And the sales of period or later period relevant year valuation. These variations also make adjustments of these rates are more difficult. Very correct. Before pandemic, the rates were different. But after pandemic, you can see there is no sales, there is no transaction. How you will calculate? How you will rate it that particular land value? These are all the big questions, but we need to do the valuation. What we'll have to do? We'll have to give some weightages. There will be some transactions will be available. See what has happened in one of the property. We don't have any sale transactions at all. And see that thing is actually what happened. The most important thing is for valuer, the curiosity, skepticism not should be there, but the curiosity should be there. You should question. You should question the client. You should question the nearby people, nearby area, or nearby agent, or any other engineer, valuer, anyone. So when we are doing the cross checking for the valuation, you will be surprised. A valuer who is very near to that actually, he has given me a valuable document. He was telling, sir, before pandemic, you are right. The rate is only 80 lakhs. The rate is only 70 lakhs. Now, after pandemic, since because there is no transaction is there, we can adopt, or otherwise we can give some consideration based on the road approach and other things. We can consider some more increase based on that actually, the weightages. So we started collecting some more information. When we have started collecting some more information, we could able to get one of the input. A party was near to that place. Actually, he wanted to buy a land of 1 acre to set up a hotel property on the highway. They were demanding for 1 crore, and the buyer who wanted to final price he has offered is 80 lakh. So these are all the things will be more useful. Unless we discuss, actually, we may not able to get any of the price at all. So many sale instances are found unreliable or obscure due to the presence of black money in the deal. True. The consideration shown and declared in the document may be 40% or 60% of the total actual price to be paid to the vendor. The difference in amount is paid in cash or unaccounted money. The recorded in such sale of document is untrue picture of actual market. This is a reality. This is a reality where we'll have to find out where exactly. The great field experience and assessment expertise of value is needed to analyze the sale and to find out overall effect of all attributes of sale property on the market rate prevalent to the locality. Very difficult, but we'll have to do. Many times, due to inadequate description of lack of property plan in deed, in sale deed of transfer, it is difficult to locate the property physically on the site. Due diligence is one of the more important. See, you'll have to see when you are going to any of the site, actually, you'll have to see the area. Nowadays, actually, what you can do, you can go to the GPS, you can just measure that in GPS also. You can find out. If you go to Google Earth, actually, in the Google Earth, actually, you can trace the property, you can measure and compare that actually whether the area what they've given is correct or wrong. This makes comparison difficult as characteristics of the sale instance property are not known. Under all hypothetical building scheme, there are too many assumptions. Very correct. In fact, the entire method is based on assumptions and summarizes. The probable sale price or probable rent is estimated, building plan and layout are assumed to be best possible solution. Property taxes and other outgoings are estimated and building specification and cost are also estimated. Developers, profit, time for projects, etc. are also assumed. There are hardly any factual data except area of the plot, which is more important. There is therefore great risk in adopting final value derived under this method. The Supreme Court has therefore advised to adopt hypothetical building scheme method of valuation as a last resort. Yes, you have to adopt only the last. Yes, I don't have any other method to value. This is only the method is available. Then we will have to adopt. Under hypothetical building scheme, ownership concept is also there are many assumptions. True, it is a lot of assumption is involved in this. It is assumed that all existing tenants in the plot would be readily accept the proposal for redevelop for alternative and free accommodation in the new building. Of course, in any of the redevelopment project, it is happening. In cases of sales with the plot, the underutilized building construction, help of a land and building method of valuation is necessary. Very correct. Cost approach method is mostly used, and in that case, actually, this will be more useful. Use of sale of comparison method of rental property is very difficult due to frozen rent. Yes, our friend was telling that there is no rent is there. So the rent act provision, if it is there, then it will be much more difficult. Is most of the urban areas of the India. This is the problem which is there actually. Finally, in case of large property with isolated tenant building in corner, help of income approach, that is rent method, is required along with the sale comparison method to arrive at a true market value. This is how it will be calculated. So we have seen the limitations of the market. This is really one of the wonderful usage for our working actually. As you, we'll discuss further more also. Um, what Riggs says on the residual method. Let us understand what they are also one of the prime body, prime institution. They are giving a lot of value addition to the valuation field actually. What exactly they say? The residual valuation method, the residual valuation is based on the concept that the value of the property with the development potential is derived from the value of the property after development minus cost of undertaking the development, including a profit for the developer. But put simply, this is what exactly we require. Gross development value equal to minus total development cost of including profit, that is equal to residual land value. The residual land value method is based on the concept that the value of the property with a development potential is derived from the value of the property, value of the property with the development potential is derived from the value of the property after development minus the cost of undertaking that the development including profit for the developer is taken. Two different applications of the residual method have been developed. One is we have seen all the bases. Discounted cash flow is the next one, and more basic applications of the real residual method. The basic residual valuation might be used for less complex assets or early in the development process to consider optimum development. They say that very clearly. The basic residual valuation might be used for less complex assets or early in the development process to consider optimum development. A discounted cash flow may be used for more complex assets with a phased construction. Yes, this is also done. Or a disposal where the timing events need to be fully accounted for in the valuation. See, I told you DCF actually what happened. We'll have to take lot of inputs we need to take. It is not that we can simply take that actually. We need to assume. We need to collect all the data. We need to adapt the data after assumption of data. The applications are mutually exclusive. Yes, that is true. Now, the hypothetical method, that is what the residual method, the development method or residual technique is an indirect manner of deriving the land rate for sale transaction. The land value is derived indirectly for a sale in the developed property. Such developed property may have fully utilized FSI or may underutilized FSI also. Both the things are there. And there are some more. This is done by calculating the value of the land if it was developed to fit the maximum number of dwelling unit. The cost of getting of land to the stage at which it can be developed needs to be subtracted from the total value of the dwelling. The method is often used when you are dividing up large section of land into blocks or property that can be developed to contain more than one dwelling unit, such as duplex or triplex block. The value of the property is estimated by land and building method. Here, actually, we are adopting land and building method. Since there is no dispute on the building value of access, correct? Because there actually there is no dispute on the building value. So only fair market value of land to be assessed in this method. The relate of land is arrived by hypothetical building method based on the inputs available in the document and government development rule. This is one of the more important. For any of the thing actually, this hypothetical method is based on the inputs available in the document and government development rule. So zoning is more important. Anybody should know about the zoning, which is more important for the zoning. Let us go to one of the case study. In fact, we worked out on this particular thing. See, the value of the land is estimated by hypothetical building method. This method is adapted in estimating the more open market value of open land in the developed area, where data regarding recent transactions in the respect of similar comparable open lands is not available, and the data only regarding the recent transactions of sale of built-up residential flats is available. In this method, the land are to be valued is required to be bring to the state of similar and comparable to that of the properties involved in the sale transaction, that is residential flats. For example, a hypothetical building scheme is therefore undertaken providing residential flats similar to the comparable to the flat involved in the sale transaction in all respects, including area, specifications, workmanship, provisions, similar utility services, amenities and facilities, and other common services and facilities, etc. This is one of the example we adapted actually. See what happened. There was one building which was the land was taken by the government agency, and they given a compensation. The compensation was to the tune of there. The actually the plot area is 12,000 rupees per square feet market value. Somebody can unmute yourself, please, or you want to talk anything? Somebody open the mic. Okay. See, the value of the building is estimated by adopting suitable plinth area rate per unit area depending upon the specification. Yes. Depreciation is calculated by straight line method, assuming the salvage value of 10%. Selected value of the property registered between 2000. This is what we have done. In that, actually, what has happened, that property was acquired and they are given only 4,000 rupees, including.
Sorry to disturb you, sir.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Sir, actually, the plinth area and the carpet area were different, right, sir?
Correct. Very right. Plinth area
sir,
is.
The plinth area is the plinth.
Sir, here actually, see, don't confuse yourself, because when constructing the building, actually, we take plinth area, we'll be taking the plinth area for our consideration. Okay.
Yes, sir.
When compared to the RERA,
Sir.
when you come to the RERA part, actually, the total value will be taken and the carpet area will be divided to get the price per square meter. But for our working, we need to take the plinth area because that is included in the entire area. Suppose if you take the plinth area, have you seen the CPW plinth area rate, sir?
Okay. Okay.
In that,
No,
actually, they have mentioned very clearly how the plinth area rate has to be calculated. Sir, we are concerning for calculating the value of the building.
sir,
When
sir,
we calculate, yeah, tell me,
sir,
sir.
in the plinth area, few part is covered for the carpet area and few part is covered for parking as well.
So
So
what is the zoning says? Whether you can include that in the your plinth area? What is your zoning? The development control rule says. The porch is included or not included?
included, sir.
Port is also portico is also a element, sir. Element
Okay.
has to be included. The cost has to be included. If
Okay.
you have any doubt, actually, port you separated. You calculate the entire building. Finally, you add the cost of the building into that. Actually, you can also
Okay.
work out.
Okay,
Per
sir.
square feet rate may come down. If you work out on the quantity survey method, you can see that what is the difference is there actually between the real plinth area and for the porch area. Porch area without wall. Sometimes
Yes, sir.
actually what has happened, they will be having a side wall. One side there will be a wall will be there, and one side other side actually they will have a architectural arrangement they will be giving. So those kind of a cost has to be added. Plinth area
Okay.
will be there, and walls up to some level actually you have to construct. And sometime actually they will go for a continuous beam also, lintel beam, which they will be connecting the whole thing. And above the lintel they will be giving some kind of a grill arrangement or something like that for a ventilation. This kind of a thing, when it comes into the porch, actually you need to include. That is how. But my request to all our friends is, we need to be very clear about the zoning purpose. Also, what is the rules is, what is the continuous housing, what is the row housing, what is the independent housing, what is the FSI says, what is the FSI which has been given for that particular building. This all these things are required to be understand by us actually. See, how many of you have seen the combined building rule? Now, actually, as per the urban development ministry, the entire thing has been made as a one single rule. Whether it is a city or away from the city, actually, they made the rule that is called combined rule regulation, building regulation rule. So this has been adopted in Chennai also for Tamil Nadu. We need to see the ruling also more important, sir. Here
Excuse
actually
me,
we,
sir.
yes sir,
Yeah,
please sir.
sir, if the tenant is occupied with the rear side as an open courtyard, as per the Rent Control Act, how can we calculate, sir?
That area has to be calculated as a nil portion. You should not include in that. It
They,
should
they,
be
they,
included.
they are keeping an open courtyard for storage of some materials.
That you can include, sir. They cannot
That
keep
fetches,
that.
okay, sir, that fetches
See,
some
you have rented.
rental
See,
value. Hmm.
no, sir. Actually, what happened when we enter into the rental property, we used to have some agreement. If not agreement, actually, we'll be having this much area only for rental. If the other area is they are using, whether they are paying for the rental for that area,
No, sir. The
then you are
party,
not supposed to include. For our
mm,
calculation, we are
mm,
not supposed to include. That is what the earlier example says actually. In
mm,
fact, I also gone through some of the books also. It
mm,
says actually you are supposed to not include only that particular portion. Other areas to be included.
mm. Okay, sir. Okay.
So in that actually, in this particular problem, what we have done actually, the acquisition cost is, I mean, the total present land value is 12,000 per square feet, whereas the government has given 3,000 to 4,000 rupees, including solitium. Solitium fund is actually a percentage amount which has given by the government when they acquired the private property for the public purpose. So that time actually what has happened, they given some solitium fund, all put together they given actually 4,000 rupees. See, earlier or now also what government is doing, they will be taking the comparable sale deed and sale prices from various ECs. So in that actually they will be collecting. I was surprised the way in which he was taken. So that is accounting for more than 120 pages of only the comparison of sale price. When they wanted to give some compensation, the RDO actually what happened? They collected so much of document. Of course, that's a learning for me. In fact, I took a lot of things actually. I collected everything. Like Balakrishna sir, actually, what has happened, I also had the same feeling whether to accept the assignment or not. But with the help of senior valuers, in fact, I get into the particular task actually. I have learned a lot actually with the senior valuer who has given me to take up the assignment. He helped me. He guided me. One of our senior valuer in Chennai, who is a very fam actually. He helped me. He told me this is how it has to be calculated. You calculate all this thing and you collect all the data. But for collecting data alone, actually, we have spent more than 3 to 4 days. Actually, we went to each and every market. Actually, we collected everything, nearby property, development property where they are selling the property flat. We got that, like buyer, we went and we collected the quotation also for buying one flat, actually how much they are charging. Like that, we collected all the things. Selected value property registered between 2008 and 10. This is how we have taken up actually for that year. And the fair market value of the property, we have taken like this. I'll just show you. uh, this is some of the easiest which we have taken. Of course, 1 minute. This is from the extract actually we have taken. What is the sale deed and TS number, what is the survey number which is there, and what is the registration document number, and what is the sale value, and what is the rate per square feet it works out. And from this actually what happened, there are UDS document, there are land and building document, and all put together. Where only land alone, some higher cost will be there. This is how we have selected from the documents. Then finally, what we have done, I told you that for value, the most important thing is actually you should be knowing the zoning. Without knowing the zoning, without knowing the rules, actually it is very difficult to adopt this particular thing. The lowest UDS land price from the above is taken for assumption of land price, which is rupees 15,578 per square feet. However, for our calculation of flat, the lowest flat which is selling in the nearby area, we assumed as 11,000 per square feet. The development right of the property, the dimension of the land considered for calculation for our purpose. See, we assume some land. Let us see here. We assume some land. Let us see here. We assume north actually 29 meters and 29.58 meter, south 30.2 meters, east 38.43 meters. You can assume your own figures. This I am giving for our calculation we worked out here. And the west is 38.74 meters. The total extent of the plot we are considered here is 12,397 square meter. And apart from that, the width of the road what we have taken is 20 feet, that is 6 meter. The frontage of the flat is 99 feet, that is 30.2 meter. Now FSI has been increased to 2, but now what we have taken is only 1.5. Since the width of the road is 6 meter, the plot is eligible to develop ordinary building with the stilt plus 2 upper floors subject to the maximum height of 9 meter. This is as per master plan of Chennai. Only as per the second master plan of Chennai and Metropolitan Development Authority. The relevant page containing parameters ordinary that can be seen. Of course, I have not enclosed here, but we can take that. And maximum floor FSI is allowed here is 1.5. And the maximum plot coverage permissible is 70%. This also we need to find out how much we need to give. The front setback is 1.5 meter, and side setback is 1 meter, and rear setback is 1.5 meter, and the width of the building could be planned is 27.5 meters. How? 29.58 minus 1 minus 1. So the length of the building could be 38.43 minus 1.5 minus 1.5 plus front and rear. So that will be length of the building will be 35.43. So the built-up area could be achieved in that one floor. In that one floor is 27.58 into 30.543. Now we have found out what is the exact area. Now FSI after deducting setback in four sides, it is 977 square meter. So maximum plot coverage will be 70%. That is 1151.7 square meter. So the 806 square meter or 8,670 square feet. So which will be maximum FSI of 1.5. That gives you 1151.70 square meter or 18,595 square feet. Okay. The built-up area could be achieved in, see, this is assumptions which I am making. This is as per the ruling. As per the ruling, I am making a hypothetical calculations. I am making hypothetical. What will be the land rate which we can able to arrive? That is what we are trying to find out here. So the built-up area could be achieved in both the floors will be 2x. That is 2 into 806.19 square meter. The FSI achieved is 17,355, that is 1612.38 square meter. So now rate of land arrived by hypothetical building method. Now assume cost per cost of construction in 2011. This is for our rough calculation I am giving. 2000 per square feet with all common amenities, electrical, plumbing, whatever modernized is there, we are giving. So based on that, we assume this much rate. So the flat cost assumed is 11,000 and the flat cost per square feet is 11,000 per square feet. The built up area, that is FSA area, is 17,355 square feet. The total built up area excluding non-FSA area is 17,355. Areas such as headroom, tilt, etc. normally added to the saleable area at 15%. Net saleable area with the built-up area is 115%, that is 19,958 square feet. So I'm telling you, this is for our calculation to find out what exactly. There are certain things which will be left out that you can see and you can include. And before seeing that, actually, you'll have to be within the zoning and rule permission. So net saleable built-up area is around 20,000 square feet, and total dwelling can be planned in that is 12 flats could be planned. The market is a flat considered is 11,000 per square feet, and the net realizable sale value will be 22 crore. That is 20,000 square feet into 11,000. So the realizable sale value for car park, how many car park? 12 car park, 12 car park given. So we assumed 48, that is 2 lakh we assumed because that is a prime area. So we assumed that 2 lakh per car park. And the total realizable value will be 22 crore 48 lakh. So development profit will be 15%. Of course, as I told you, the development profit 15% we are adding. That we can have even 10% also. So that will be 22.48 crores. That comes to 3 crore and 37 lakh 20,000. So the net realizable sale value, all including profit, is 19. Yeah, you are reducing the developer's profit. That will give you net realizable sale value will be 19 crore 10 lakh 80,000. This is what the exact figure we are getting. Then this sum will not be realized immediately. True. Because what happened, you will be having 2 years or 1.5 years or 3 years to sell the flat. So the magnitude may take 2 years time for sale of all 12 flats in the project, and full realization of estimated sale value will be there. So it is therefore proper to defer the value 12% per 1 year, that is half a period of realization of total sum, which is equal to so which is equal to, therefore, proper to defer the sale value of 12% of 1 year or half a percent of realization of total sum. So deferring 12% per 1 year, the net present realizable sum will be, the discount factor will be 0.892 of 19 lakh and 10,000. So the net value after discounting the factor will be 17 crore and 4 lakh and 43,360. Now, the total expenses and outgoing, building cost including stilt floor with the electrical room, DG room, other facilities, everything, that comes to 17,355 square feet at rupees 1,500 per square feet. That is 2 crore 60 lakh and 32,500. So interest is adopted 12% for 2.6 crore for
For
1 year.
1,500, is it possible to construct
No,
1,500?
this is in 2011, sir.
Okay.
2011.
Okay.
So we, sir, I told you that figures actually whatever for our calculation. But if you apply your calculation in this, actually we can able to find out The present working also we can able to calculate. So approval expenses, let us take 20. Of course, this may be vary. Even 200, 100 also will be there. 20 per square feet for 20,000 square feet, which is equal to 4 lakh. The total expenses will be 2 lakh 95,000, 2 crore 95 lakhs 56,000. So deferred total expenses and outgoing 12% per 1 year, that is equal to the discount factor 0.892, which is you will get 2 crores 63 lakhs and 64,309. So let us find out here the net income of the project, which will be 1 crore and 44 lakh. Sorry, some figure wrong. Sorry, 14 crore and 40 lakh 79,000. So that comes to, let us find out here that land portion alone, the total value will be this much. So the land rate will be divided by the area, where the area will be 12,397. That means 11,622 per square feet will be the land price. This is how we arrived in that particular case study, actually, how we arrived. So, of course, I am just giving you that conclusion remark on this, actually, that hypothetical reports are intended behavior are commonly used to draw conclusions about the real choices. So it is not that actually we are just assumption. We are taking a lot of assumption into that, are commonly used to draw conclusions about the real choices. The fundamental question to decision neuroscience is whether the same type of valuation choice and computations are performed in the hypothetical and real decision. This is something which you need to understand. And we investigated this question using functional magnitude and resonance imaging, while human subjects are made real and hypothetical choices about the purchases of consumer goods. See, the hypothetical case study is like that. That is why it was done here. We found that activity in common areas of orbital front cortex and ventral, this is something related to comparing to the human body also, and stimulus values of the goods in their both types of the decision. Furthermore, we found that the activity in these regions were stronger in response to the stimulus value signals in the real choices condition. The findings suggest that the difference between the real and hypothetical choice is primarily attributable to the variations in the value of computation of medial orbital context and ventral system. See, this is, I'm just giving the comparison and not attributable to the use of different valuation systems or to the computation of stronger stimulus value signals in the hypothetical condition. So we are working out with this method. Actually, we have done that. And in fact, I just wanted to share you one more thing here, actually. Though we have done the valuation on hypothetical valuation method, when it was submitted in the court, actually what happened, there was a cross examination. In the cross examination, there were many questions has been posted by the opponent respondent side. Actually, we are the claimant. So from the respondent side, they were posing a lot of questions, like when you visited the site, and when the why the date has been taken like that, and so many things has been questioned by the claimant, I mean respondent. So during the time of thing, actually, I realized it is a fact actually which is realized by me. The most important thing is due diligence. See, in the court of law, when they are asking very clearly whether you have visited the site, whether you have recorded the same in the report, whether you have taken up the thing, and which basis you have taken. See, this is also a very biggest question. Why? Because actually you cannot simply assume. We'll have to take some basis. Like what we did, actually, there is a nearby place actually wherein the property was developed by one of the builder. Actually, he was selling that plot actually for some rate. We have taken that as a evidence. And apart from that, actually, what has happened, that the RDO has given some 150 pages comparison he has taken. Land rate, UDS rate, all these things he have taken. So that we have taken in the entire thing. And the third one, actually, what has happened, the area under the acquisition, there was one question was raised by the respondent, actually, advocate. He was asking that whether you have measured the area. So there is a big question. See, what has happened, you are supposed to tell the people actually that the area being measured, that the area being taken for the acquisition. See, this area has been measured by many number of people, like CMDA or the Highways Authority or metro authority. So many people would have measured in that area. That particular land was taken by all three agencies. They have taken, one is metro, one is corporation, the other one is highway, because that is a very important road actually in which it is going. So this particular road actually, the stretch actually already we measured. So we said that yes sir, we measure. So the questions which will be posed, you are ready to answer to entire thing. How the rate has been taken, how you have assumed. So we need to give that. And if suppose if you are, they are asking what is the zoning area which you have taken, we are ready to share the rule, combined rule. I mean, earlier it was a DCR, the development control rules actually, whatever it was says actually, we have taken a printout of one copy, and the copy was produced in the court. See why? Because I am telling you all these things actually, a valuer, a need to keep himself readily available for any answers. He has to keep all the records. Even today, I suggest all the valuers actually, all my fellow valuers, whenever we do the valuation, whenever we do any comparable sale or anything, let us keep everything in one digital copy, scan copy we can keep. That will be more useful for our practice. If suppose somebody is asking how you have done this particular thing, how you have taken all these things, actually we need to answer to all these questions. That is very important. So this is where actually more important, and we did that, and successfully that entire thing has been accepted, and it has been finalized in my case actually. And this particular residual method of valuation to be adapted as a last resort, where there is no other case is there, we need to arrive at this, then we need to do that. And one more case what we have done in my practice actually, one of the developer property, which has come into the insolvency, and we have done that actually on the discontinuous cash flow method, where actually we proved very clearly that this project is not viable at all. Because what has happened, entire money has been taken by the developer, and he has swollen the entire thing. So only the left out plot is very few. Even if somebody takes up the entire construction activities after a resolution plan, if they are going for that, actually they may be losing the money. And apart from that, actually what has happened, whenever you are going into the any of the valuation, you are supposed to know the rules and regulations. I'm repeatedly telling you, the rules and regulations are more important. Because what happened in one of the resolution plan, they were asking one question actually, there is a uh, renewal of license by the CMD was not renewed by the developer, which was so these are all the things is more important, how we'll have to take it for our valuation profession. Okay, now I have done entire thing, how I have done the valuation report, how I have taken the my report, how I have done the reports, my working. Before all these things are coming into the force, and we have taken up the same way, whether started from introduction, who has given me the work, who are all there, and what are the bases we have taken, and all these things we have considered. Let us also see here how the valuation report is required to be prepared, whether in the court or in any of the resolution properties or anywhere. That let us discuss here. The report making is one of the wonderful lot. Really, I'm telling you, whatever report you are making, if the reports are very wonderful, that is a marketing tool for your business. This will give you the wonderful marketing. If the reports are very excellent, the people will come back to you. They will say that, sir, kindly do this particular property value. Please kindly do that. But yeah, a beautiful guideline has been given by the IBBA in the notification dated 1/9/2020. Very beautifully they given, along with the caveat limitations and some of the assumptions, everything along with that actually they given. Let us see that one by one actually, what exactly which is required to be here. Of course you are all familiar to that actually, but let us also revise on that. The background of information and the asset being valued, one of the most important is, whenever you are giving that background of information of the asset being valued, what is the after inspection, when you write actually, this is the one of the important thing you need to write. I told you the most important skill for the values is communication skill. The communication skill is very important. And the report will speak to the end users. The end users will use the entire report. So that is where actually the more important thing is there. The background information of the asset being valued, you'll have to you'll have to give the entire detailing to the valuation, you'll have to about the asset, you'll have to give. Then coming to the purpose of valuation and appointing authority. What is the purpose of evaluation? And one more thing, before that, actually, I just want to add here. See, now, after the IBBI and Companies Act registration valuation, the requirement of valuations have increased a lot. Merger, acquisition, or 191, Section 191, Section 192, uh, and SEBI and REIT. So everywhere, actually, the valuations have become more important. So you have to write very clearly what for the purpose of valuation is there. If suppose the purpose is section 191 or 192, you'll have to write very clearly. As per Companies Act 192, 191, this is giving the share value to one of the director without any cash transaction. When the property is transferred to the company, his own property, when he wanted to transfer to the his company, without any cash transaction. That time, if you are doing the valuation, this particular thing has to be mentioned very clearly. If you are doing for valuation for the purpose of CAERP, you have to mention that actually the valuation is for the purpose of CAERP under section 35 and 36. And if you are using that for court purpose, and what is the court purpose and who has requested you, who is your appointing authority, this particular things has to be mentioned very clearly in your valuation report, because the appointing authority is more important. And one more thing I want to tell you is, you'll have to write more important thing is appointing date is more important, and date of inspection is more important, and date of valuation. And in CIRP, the CIRP order date is the date of valuation. And for the bank valuation, whenever you are doing, we used to do it date of inspection as the date of valuation. And for capital gain, of course, everybody knows that actually we used to do it for 2001 valuation. So these are all the things that's more important, data valuation. And finally, the date of report. So this is one of the more important thing which you have to record in your report. Then finally, coming to the basis of value. What is the basis for your valuation? Which thing you are doing? Basis of value is nothing but actually whether you are doing for IBBA, and what is the IBBA rule says actually under 35 and 35 HS and other thing, that is a fair value and liquidation value, which you need to be mentioned. And what is the you are doing for this? If suppose you are doing for some other cases apart from IBBA, then you can mention IVS. IVS, what exactly it says, that you can mention here. And there are RICS Red Book standards is there. In that also it is similar to IVS only. And these are all the things actually which we can make. And finally, what has happened? The premise value. What is the premise value? The premise value is nothing but actually what is the thing actually, whether it is going to be a going concern you are going to do it, or as is where basis you are going to do it, and what is the fair market value, how you are going to arrive that. These are all the things which will come into that. Then coming to the identity of the valuer. And identity of the valuer is more important. You'll have to mention very clearly what is your license number, what is your name, and these are all the things has to be mentioned very clearly. Suppose if you are experts involved in the valuation, for example, I just want to share one of my experience here. We have done one of the land which is contaminated land. This contaminated land, actually we cannot just like that do the valuation, but we need to do that what is the level of contamination, and this has to be studied. So what we did, we have taken one environmental scientist for this particular thing, and we have taken lot of inputs on that actually. This is called stigma land. The stigma land is totally a different one. So whenever you are adapting some experts to the valuation, and that value, that report has to be taken. What is the impact on valuation? That is more important. So what we did on that stigma land valuation, we have taken the expert opinion from the valuer, and we added so many things on that actually. And that actually how this impact is there, because what happened in stigma land, reclamation is one of the more important things. Suppose remediation is not possible immediately, how long it will take? It will take for how many years? It will take 30 years, 40 years. Whether the land will be usable for any other purpose? No, because the land has been contaminated so much, it will take at least 30 years to get it remediated. So otherwise, if you are using any other purpose to remediate, what will be the amount which we are going to sell? What which amount which we are going to use? That is very big. Sometimes actually what happens, the value for remediation will be very high. The cost will be very, very high. It is not so easy to remediate the land very quickly, because contaminated land remediation is something very different subject. So there actually what happened, we have taken the input from the expert and we have taken into consideration. So this is the stigma land valuation, and you'll have to write very clearly who is the expert involved in that, and what is the detailing we have taken in that. Actually, that has to be mentioned in that very clearly. One thing is actually that 1 1920 circular is one of the fantastic circular. Really, I'm telling you, adds up to the people. In fact, adds up to IBBI. The detailing which has been given is amazing, and the intended uses of the valuation. This is another one of the another important, more important is intended uses of the valuation. See, this is actually what has happened. We'll have to mention very clearly. This report is used for what purpose, to whom it is addressed. It has to be written very clearly for that. This has to be written in your report. This is also more important. Then coming to the disclosure of RV interest or conflict. Of course, everybody knows that Annexure A, you will be giving 6 month once. Apart from that, disclosure of RV interest is more important. It has to be mentioned in the report. This is more important. We'll have to say, I don't have any direct or indirect relationship with anyone connected financially or corporate debitor or anyone. This has to be mentioned very clearly in your report. Then one more minute, I'll take some water. So next coming, in fact, of course, I have addressed above thing actually. Date of appointment, valuation date, date of report, and date of inspection. These are all the things has to be mentioned in your report, whether it is for only for Companies Act or any other purpose. If your report is very clear, I have seen some of the people's actually, one valuer told me, sir, we will be doing valuation only in 2 pages. I was surprised. Sir, how you will address all the aspects? Because now, as per the revised format given by the public sector bank, actually, the nationalized bank, actually, that itself is more than 10 pages. So then he has given that actually some model. We have just gone through that. We requested him to add some more also. This is for one of our client actually. We connected that value directly to that our auditor for doing the valuation. So we suggested him actually to add some more things, what is required, what is more important in that. Accordingly, they added. That is one of the things which I just wanted to mention. But these are all the things are more important for our regular valuation. It is not that I will do only for this. See, one thing I used to do, whether it is for 5,000, whether it is for 1 lakh, my valuation report standards will be common. I'll address everything in a similar way. It depends upon some of the valuation. But whatever it is for a Companies Act, our report will be like this only. Whatever it is there given in this report heading, this headings will be addressed in our report. Then coming to inspection and investigation. Inspection, when you have done the inspection, along with whom or all we went. Suppose if you are going for an insolvency, if you are going with along with a mechanical valuer or a banker or anyone, you mentioned that in the report. And what are the investigation undertaken for finding out the market value, how you measured the property, whether the property is so very big and not measurable. Have you seen the corners, boundaries, which has been shown by the people, and how you have taken that actually, how you have cross-checked with that actually. And these are all the things actually which has to come in the inspection and investigation report very clearly. And business interest of ownership characteristics, this also should be mentioned in our report, which is also more important and required. Then nature and source information. The nature and source of information, of course, for market value, apart from web portal, we'll be collecting data from personal inquiry from the local with the valuer or any engineers or real estate agent or brokers or neighborhood. Sometimes this will be more helpful. Actually, what has happened in one of our cases, actually, we could not able to find out any of the brokers or real estate agents. So what we did actually, we went around and we collected most of the information from the neighborhood. Maybe the neighbors may not give you immediately, but if you go still further, actually nearby that, maybe second street or something like that, we'll collect that. And likewise, actually, what has happened in one of our experience, that particular property was located near to the village, and there is a main town is nearby, and from the main town it is 1.5 kilometer away, say 2 kilometer away from the main town. And this particular property is away from one village, which is another half a kilometer on 1 kilometer. What we did actually, we started collecting the rates in the town. Most of the things are only in the town only, so we have taken that.
Sir,
And yes, sir.
all these will be no? Oral information.
No, that actually you can record and keep it with you, sir. That will be better,
Okay.
sir. Sir, actually, what has happened, we have not only collected the information. Sometimes actually what happened, we used to record also. We used to take record and we never show to them. We take that actually. In fact, you will not believe, in one of the property, I have taken a recorder. I just went round. I have just recorded myself. There is a lot of bushes are there. We are unable to go inside, and but the property is there actually. It has been constructed. It is halfway through. The size of the building we have not noted down. We have taken from the previous valuation report or LAE report, which we have taken that the stage of the construction is so much. We have recorded, and apart from that, there are plenty of scrap materials, fabrication materials, which has been lying down across everywhere. And the compound also, see, this is what we recorded. Whatever we recorded, that actually what has happened on one fine morning, the IP was asking me, sir, have you taken any video on the property, sir? Really surprised. Because what happened, I never thought this will be more useful to the IP. He asked me, no, sir, I wanted this, sir. If you have taken, please kindly help me. We are given. And he was asking me, sir, how can I know that you have taken a photograph? Actually, there are a lot of materials are lying. How I can able to identify? You will not believe, during recording, I have mentioned there is 12 rods are 3 bundle with the full length, and it is corroded fully, and there is a plates are found nearby that actually, which is corroded. It has been kept over and above. It is lying there. Sir, really, it is amazing. That was very useful. And the percentage what we have recorded is actually at par with the LIE report. And we have taken most of them actually. Sometime actually this will be more useful actually. Why? Because actually this is your own source. Your own source you are recording along with the your video. So that will be sometime more useful also. Suppose what you can do, you can run and show also, you can find out whether you missed out or you are not missing out the property. whether it has been included in that actually. This is how it is there. See, we went around one of the property, flat property, high value property, high value. See, you are noting down floor, granite, walls, and it is finished nicely. It is acrylic emulsion in some wall, and some walls it is a paper wallpaper. That they will say that perforated wallpaper, a costly wallpaper. See, wallpapers are available even 200 rupees per square feet is available. I was surprised that has been imported from China, and some people actually they import from Dubai also. I have seen very fantastic, very fantastic. If you keep that, actually it will be, it will see, they say that if you put the wallpaper, it will keep the temperature, AC temperature very constant. It will keep you warm, it will keep you very nice. So these are all the things actually we started. See, apart from noting down, actually we recorded. It has been finished with so and so, and the fit out in the sense actually it will be totally different, sir. See, we also done some fit out valuation because I am being a MRICS actually. They wanted a certification from MRICS on the some of the IT company. What has happened? The IT companies will remodify the whole area every 3 years once or 5 years once. They wanted to do the valuation. They wanted to do that. What will be the present value of the entire interior? They wanted to revamp the whole thing because they say that if you keep the entire room in a different condition for every 3 years, the production level is increased. That is what one of the HR manager, HR vice president, he has told me. So that is how we used to do that actually. So this kind of a thing actually, what has happened, it will be more useful for you. So that is how actually the source of information, whatever is there, we can record and keep, or otherwise you can write and keep with you. And those things actually, what has happened, it will help you. I'll show you one of the things. Of course, this is, can you able to see this? Gargi? No, a book, spiral book actually we have prepared. I'll share you, no issues.
Sir, share your screen rather than
No,
share
no, no.
yourself rather than screen.
No, actually, what has happened? 1 minute. See, this is a checklist. This is a checklist which we have. What we do in the checklist actually, we'll be keeping everything in recorded, everything in record. So in that actually, I have already prepared. If I'm going for any property, I take this. And in the back side of this, you can see that all drawing will be there. Marking drawing, where exactly and what are the things will be provided in that actually we will record. See, this is a kind of information, source information, what you have recorded and what are the things has been taken for this particular thing. This is how it has to be taken. Anyhow, I'll continue with that. Later on, we will discuss some more also. And this is how the source of information has to be there. And apart from that, actually, what we do, market survey we used to do. Market survey, what the market survey? We used to collect all the web portal also in the nearby area. What is the rate they give? What is the other things are given? And what is the distance from our property to the market collected rate? Suppose if I am collecting the rate which is 2 kilometers away, that is the only property available for sale, that will be sold for so and so rate. And what is the, see, this is helpful to you to compare weightage and grid method. Actually, this will be more useful for your weightage. That is for the weightage wherever you are giving this property comparison. That is how it will be more useful. That is where the nature of source and information. Other information is actually more important is the sale deed. If suppose the lease deed is there, leasehold property, if the leasehold property is given for perpetual life, that is 99 years, then it will be the leasehold property is very, very important. Without that, actually, you cannot able to give the leasehold property valuation. Leasehold property valuation is something very different. Really, I'm telling you. But everyone should know that leasehold property valuation, which is very, very important. I'm telling you. We should understand the concept of legal leasehold property valuation. What is the leasehold property valuation amount? What is the leasehold property valuation? Value of lessor plus value of lessee. That is the leasehold property valuation. But we need to know what is the lease deed says, how much the premium says, what is the rental value is there, and for the 100 years how they are considering, whether it is short term lease or long term lease, whether it's a perpetual lease. These are the things which has to be considered. See, while doing the any of the project, actually we will get kind of a thing also. We need to work out and we need to do based on that actually. And many of the leasehold property, there is a lot of judgments are there. See, when I say source of information, that is a judgment. In the judgment, actually, what happened? They will say that the leasehold property can be valued on land and building method. Also, you can depend on. That is what it says. Some of the area that can be taken as your source of information for the valuation, and nature of information. So these are all the things has to be adapted in your valuation, which is very required and important.
Can we use Google information?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can Google. You can just show comparison only. You are comparing and satisfying yourself, and you are keeping. Sir, I am doing what you are doing in the Google. If you go to the Google Earth, you can measure the property. See, in 2D you can see the whole thing, sir. On the top level you can see the entire thing, sir. Top. So over the ground, actually, you can draw your line and find out what is the perimeter and what is the area. And most of the time it tallies. 100% it will tally, sir, unless you take that in a right way. And in fact, actually, we can go for only GPS study, one class we can have 1 hour, which is very important. Really telling you that is more important. Many of the people actually what happened, they are not knowing that without they will say that I saw the boundary. That is not correct. If the boundary is 20 acres, how you will do? You go to each and every boundary, stand there, pin yourself in the GPS location, bring it to the Google, put your all points in that area. You can connect all the area, you will get the line, you will get the boundary. That you can prove, that you can say that Google line you can draw, and you can show that the total area, how much area is there. That we can found it. We can do that in Google Earth. Actually, it will give you directly the area and your boundary perimeter. It will give you. We can compare whatever is there actually by done by the previous valuer. All these things actually we can compare and take. And significant assumption, this is the one of the most important in the value for our valuer field. The assumptions what you are taken, I could not able to measure the distance because of the difficulty, but I have checked that with the Google information, Google Earth, which is tallying. The same is enclosed, attached for information. This you are confirming. I have checked there in the site. Actually, there are a lot of bushes there. I am unable to go inside. Sir, if a lot of risk is there, will you take the responsibility going into that? Nobody will take. So we can show in that. That's some assumptions we'll have to show. And for this comparable sale method, what are the details are there, assumptions which you have taken? That has to be mentioned in the assumption, which is more important. Assumptions are simply whatever not possible you cannot write. Whatever you have taken, whatever you have considered, that has to be recorded in the assumption. And in fact, how many of you have the circular? I don't know. In the circular, the typical samples of assumptions are given. Typical samples of assumptions are given very beautifully. And in fact, I used to keep all these things nearby to me, because it is an everyday reference to us. So this will be very useful, really, I'm telling you. Then coming to the procedure, yes, somebody is asking some question.
Sir, can you take values, comparable values from magicbricks.com?
Yeah, you can take, but only thing is, I told you that actually when you are taking that comparable sale value from the web portal, you'll have to mention that where exactly from that area. See, suppose your property is situated in a prime area, that the property, your property is away from the prime area, but the prime area property is actually, it is more. You cannot adopt the same property value, you'll have to provide the weightages, you'll have to reduce, you'll have to give merits and demerit, negative, that is positive and negative, you'll have to adapt. That is why I am mentioning right from my class, I am mentioning weightages has to be adopted. Sir, even in the recent capital gain, our seniors are taking many of the classes. You can see that in the capital gain, they are mentioning whatever the guideline rate which is given, which is giving for the Mount Road also and the in-depth Mount Road also, that is from the away from Mount Road. So you cannot adopt the same rate for the outside the area. So you have to give some weightages. Negative factors has to be given. You will have to reduce that value. That is what the section 50cc says. So many of our senior valuers used to mention this particular thing actually. This is how more important we need to do that. Shall I proceed, sir? Chandrasekhar, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So procedure adopted in carrying out the valuation and valuation standards followed. Very important. See, whenever you do any of the Companies Act valuation, you'll have to mention very clearly. Income approach method. The factory is not under operation. The building is not rented out. The building is not earning any income. To work out the income profit method. Income method of analysis. You'll have to write. So income method of valuation not adopted. Yes, completed. Coming to market approach. Of course, market approach is very important. Market approach method of valuation adapted to take the value of land from the open market. Various comparisons has been taken. Market approach, cost approach method has been adapted here to work out the building cost. You'll have to write. You'll have to write. And referring to the valuation standard, what IVS says, in which section 103, 104, what exactly the IVS says on the particular method, cost approach method or build approach, market approach method. So these are all the things has to be brought into that particular paragraph very clearly. You'll have to mention. And finally, you'll have to say that this method adopted for this valuation of property. And if you are adapting one more method, for comparison of rate, we have adapted this particular method and adapted into the valuation. This needs to be written very clearly in your valuation report. See, I am telling you repeatedly, this is one of the most important topic and you need to adapt in each and every of your valuation, which is very important. Then restrictions on use of report. This is one of the, in your disclaimer and in your disclaimer, you can write. You can say that actually this report has to be used only for what purpose you are using. Because what happens, some people will take the valuation report from you saying that actually, sir, I want to sell the property, that is why I am taking. You will take the report, finally you will go and plunge into some, you will take for finance, private finance, you will go and give that report, your report to that financier, private financier. One fine morning, the private financier will call you, sir, the report you have given. See, these are all the risks which is involved. A valuer, whenever any report which is going out of your office, you need to be more careful. Of course, mistakes are very common, but you have to be more careful. Take some signatures from the people, and whatever you are giving, scan it and keep it with you. Any report, whatever you are giving outside your office, scan it and keep it with you. One scan copy you'll have to keep, which is more important. I am repeatedly telling you, scan copy of your report. One copy you need to keep it with you, which is very important. Tomorrow somebody will ask you, you'll have to need to answer to them. So at that time actually this will be more useful. Okay, then major factors that were taken into the account during valuation. Major factors. What is the negative factors we have taken to reduce the value of the property? And suppose actually there will be a physical obsolescence will be there, and functional obsolescence is there, and economic obsolescence is there. But suppose if you are considering that obsolescence, then you'll have to mention that very clearly. What for this obsolescence has been used? If the building is not used for quite long time, then there is no function inside the building. The function for which it has been constructed, that is not being used, then that is the case actually we need to consider that particular aspect. To that extent, you'll have to reduce that value. These are all the things which is more important, you'll have to take that. And finally, coming to the conclusion. The conclusion is more important. I have seen many of them are giving a declaration. Instead of declaration, I suggest, this is my opinion, you can go for a conclusion. You can say that in the conclusion, whatever you want to say, this value, the property value, the property fair value, liquidation value, or for the bank, if you are writing, actually it will be a fair value, and realizable value and distressable value. Whenever you write, actually, you have to record very clearly that what is the percentage you have adapted for the realizable value and distress value, which is more important. Because the bank may think in a different way, but you'll have to be more clearer. What is the percentage of thing we are giving? That has to be more clear. Then finally coming to the caveats, limitations, and disclaimers. My dear friends, this is one of the most important topic in report writing. In the one of that IBBA circular, please kindly read that circular. In that actually caveat, in the limitations and disclaimers, our own values friends has developed this particular thing for IBBA. It has been prepared in a very wonderful way, and each and everything if started, there is 1 hour is required for the caveat, limitation, disclaimers. 1 hour is required because so much has been given in that report. Actually, I request that all the people, my humble request is this 19/2020 circular, please kindly take a copy of that and keep the copy with you, which will be more useful, I'm telling. In which actually they say that you cannot disclaim a certain thing, and you there should limitation has to be, certain limitation has to be there, and caveat, everything has been detailed in that. Some model has been given. You can use that model also, and you cannot disown your responsibility. Once report released is released, your responsibility held. You are answerable to the people. You are answerable to the, not only to the end user, even to the NCLT or anyone. If suppose you are giving it to the SEBI, you are answerable to SEBI. If you are giving something report to any of the audit function, you are supposed to answer to the audit function. So why? Because I am repeatedly telling, because many times actually we have seen, and we need to know ourselves actually what is to do and not to do. A valuer need to know, most important thing is need to do, not to do. This is the most important thing we need to have ourselves. Like checklist, we need to have this both the things, which is very important. So I think this is one of the things which I wanted to share with you. And the procedure involved in preparation of valuation will be, of course, identification, we know that, and description of property, we need to take the entire detailing of the property, we need to take that. And market analysis is one of the more important. Unless you do the market analysis, you may not know the value of the property. Without market analysis, please kindly don't do anything. You try to do some exercise, that will be better. Whenever you do flat valuation, try to do the flat valuation by land and building method, cost approach method, and that is what cost approach method, and market approach method, and income approach method. You know that what is the rent it will fetch. Try to do that. Try to understand. You see that comparison. That will be very quite interesting. In the composite rate method, whenever you are adapting the composite rate, you need to find out what three important things you need to do in composite rate is land component you will have to take. What will be the land component? How the land component will be taken? Land component, it is, suppose the land component is 10,000 rupees, the FSI is 2, then the land component for the composite rate will be land rate divided by 2. That is the land component you will have to take. And building for the flat, whatever the plinth area into the, see, one more important thing is you have to take the your own area. Suppose Maharashtra is there, you will have a rate for the buildings is there. Delhi is there is a rate for building is there for that particular year. Adopt that. If suppose any factors inclusion is there, add it to that. Add all the factors, include that, because you'll have a evidence for your working. Don't adopt your own rate. In fact, one of the value he called me. He told me that, sir, shall I adopt 2,500 rupees? Because that is a marble is there. There is a granite has been used. Shall I use 2,500? I asked him, what is the basis for the valuation? When I asked him, he was simply keeping quiet. He was not telling anything. He was telling, sir, I have the present market is 2,500. My dear friends, I'm telling you, even today, I'm telling you, you'll have to be more careful in putting your rate for the valuation. You work out the present market rate also. Even for your information, if you are taking plinth area rate, you can calculate your own area cost index, you can calculate. If you are taking plinth area, your own cost index you can calculate for the present market value. Whatever the materials which are there in the cost index, you can apply, you can calculate, you can take the market index, you can take for that present area. You can adapt and you can keep it ready. Then you give plus minus, you give some factors, you reduce that. If suppose some special flooring has been applied, you add that flooring in the square feet area. Add that and keep. See, that is what I'm telling you. Identification is very important and description is much more important. You should know what type of specification it has been constructed. Then finally, what happened? Market analysis. It is not so easy, my dear friend. Market analysis is a valuer role. Very important role is the valuer role on analysis. You'll have to analysis before going for a finalization of the rate. Then finally coming to the calculation, your property value calculation. Then the property value, after the property value calculation, you adapt that and the delivery, the report is delivered. I am repeatedly telling you, keep one copy of your report, scan copy, which will be very useful. Don't say that I have taken a copy of that and kept on copy. No, don't do that. I have taken PDF. No, take scan copy. That will be better. Recently, what happened? I had an experience. He was telling me, sir, your report lost. We do not know. We could not able to trace your report. Just within a 1 month. And he has come back with some other report saying that, sir, your sign is there. I was surprised. Arey, kya I have not given any report. Then I saw that report that has been given by some other valuer. Then I told them, sir, I'll give you whatever I signed and given. I'll give you a copy of that. We have given the copy of that. My dear friends, we are doing for now actually the values bill. If suppose the values bills are coming, it is going to be much more serious because nowadays actually fees has been reduced, but responsibility has been increased. You all know that fees has reduced, but responsibility has increased so much. They take bond, we need to answer to the bond paper. So every responsibility lies on the valuer. So we'll have to be more careful on each and every stage. Then coming to the procedure involved in preparation of valuation, I'm just giving you a snapshot here. Review of past financials, which is more important. Review and analysis of financial projections. If support required, you can take always your auditors or any of your friends, you can take that. And industry analysis more important. And SWOT analysis, I don't know how many of you are adapting the SWOT analysis. Strength, weak and opportunities and present trend, whatever is there, that needs to be studied. And comparison with a similar transactions, comparison with other similar listed companies, and discussions with management. I told you, valuer should have a curiosity, should post a lot of questions. Whatever questions you are posing, take a right note of it. Whatever the other your client is replying that, take a note of everything. You take your assistant. If you are unable to take your assistant. You tell him whatever I ask, whatever answers he is giving, you just write down, make it, or have a recorder. You tell your client, sir, I am going to record this. Don't without tell, don't record anything. My dear request, my request is without telling them, don't record. You tell them, sir, whatever we are going to discuss, I am going to record. If you are visiting any of the property, two serious you will have to have. One is opening meeting you should have. In the opening meeting, the client should speak. You should not speak. The client should speak about his property. Suppose you are visiting a big industry, you are entering. Don't go simply. You ask your client to give about the synopsis about the project. That is called opening meeting. In the opening meeting, ask him to give everything about the profile, about the company, what they are doing, why it stopped, what are the buildings are there, how many buildings are there. Let him show in the layout plan. Let him tell everything. Then take up inspection. In the inspection also, you note down what are the doubts are there, note down. A valuer skill depends on two things. One is questioning, the other one is communication. These both the things are very important. If you are unable to question, gone case. If you are unable to communicate, it's very difficult for your reporting. So my request is, please, during the inspection, note down whatever the things are you going to ask, note down. And after completing the entire inspection, come back, sit down for the closing meeting. In the closing meeting, Only you should speak. You should ask all your doubt. You should record all your doubt for your valuation, whatever is required. Everything you should record. You should take everything into your fold. So then review principal agreement and document. So most important is the document verification. So that actually you will do it. Actually you can do it. And of course site visit is internal, external, both. And desktop valuation, of course desktop valuation is another one. It has to go for 2 1 hour discussions we can have. And any assumption made for internal condition must be stated, like in case of desktop valuation, Aubrey must state that the basis of the report, photographs provided, documents provided, and secondary research and process of site identification, self-identified with the help of client's representative and client itself. You'll have to take photo in the site, in the front of the site. That is required. That is a proof for your visit also. RV should also include in his report that affirmative statement that information. 1 minute. Sorry, sir, I am taking some few minutes, sir, please. Sharma ji?
Yes, sir. Yes. Please go
Yeah,
ahead, sir.
please. RV also should include in his report an affirmative statement that information provided and assumption used by the management and others in developing projections have been appropriately reviewed. Yes, you have to record very clearly. I'm even now I'm telling you, my dear friend, you have to develop your skill in writing, the communication. Your report will speak. Your report will give you the information about you and your report, everything. So you'll have to develop your skill. An inquiry is made regarding the basis of key assumptions in the context of business and being valued on the industry or economy. An affirmative statement on adequacy of information and time for carrying out the valuation. Yes, this is also more important. During pandemic time, what are the difficulties you are facing? You have taken e-pass, you went there. Or we should mention key factors which would material impact on the valuation. If the stigma valuation is there, how the value is getting reduced, what is the fact, what is the remediation factors, what is the reclamation, how long it will take. And in case of valuation of tangible assets, there may be impact on the value due to faulty structural design or contamination. These are all the things has to be included. My dear friends, again I am telling you repeatedly, please see the IBBA circular, caveats and limitation and disclaimers. One of the wonderfully it has been given. Even models has been given by our own senior valuers, which can be used for us actually wherever it is required. So I think with that actually I am closing my session. The purpose of education is to make good human being with the skill and expertise. Enlightened human beings will be created by the teachers. That is always, I always thought this particular thing actually. And I think with that actually I am closing down. And one more thing is, um, accept your past without regret, handle your present with a confidence, and face your future without any fear. But without your fear, if you want to face that actually, you'll have to educate yourself and you'll have to know more, read, study. This is one of the most important thing one has to know that. And thank you so much. In fact, I have taken one more thing also, but because of the time constraint actually I'm not going in for that. What exactly that residual method of valuation on the risks as advice. There are so many things. Of course the short part actually I have given that. Let me also try to share you this actually, so that you can use this actually, you can see that actually how this has been addressed. So thanks to all my senior valuers who have helped me in developing this. And I always have a great faith on three great people. One is our R.K. Gandhi sir. His book is a Bible. Really, I'm telling you, I'm very much grateful to you because I learned a lot from the R.K. Gandhi sir. Then one is Kanaka Sabapati sir actually. Nothing like that actually. One of the real faculty, wonderful faculty. And finally, whatever the books which I have seen and my seniors, my respect to all my seniors today for this wonderful opportunity. And thank to Divya Jyoti for the excellent opportunity. In fact, actually, this is one of the session. In fact, I also learned a lot. Because of you, what has happened, any faculty, generally, though they are knowing that actually, they will go in depth for study. So you made me to study the whole concept and study. And thank you so much, my dear friends. Thank you so much. Any questions, actually, you can just please kindly
Yes,
ask
yes.
now. Please, sir.
So are you sharing the slides?
Sir, I have already shared to our
Yes. We
RVO.
will be sharing with our participants, sir.
So
Okay, thank you.
any corrections you feel also you can mention me, sir. I'll be happy to
Yes, yes.
correct myself actually, because nobody is 100% very correct actually. So you can tell me so that I can correct.
Can we have your contact details so that whenever we have any problem or need some help, we can contact you?
Surely, sir, you can have, sir, no problem, sir. My number is 87544
Yes, sir.
87544
Yeah.
95042.
950.
Yeah, and in fact, in the presentation also, I have given my both my number and as well as my mail ID,
Oh, great,
and
great.
you can see my website also. What I am doing, you can see that also. Of course, that
Yes,
is
sir,
there.
it will be shared.
Yeah, that you
It
can
will be
take that,
shared.
no problem. And I welcome whatever the questions is there. You can post me, you can call me, you can discuss with me also, because I always feel that sharing knowledge is a wealth actually. I never thought actually why should I share and all. In fact, my learning is totally different. I wanted to share, whether it is a valuer who want to know that actually you want to know that more. I definitely share. You will not believe that every day I will get more than 10 calls with regard to any of the things actually. I used to share. In fact, now I am taking MEP classes for more than 3 RVOs. So every day there will be some students will be there always for me. So with regard to the IBBA class, so that will
Sir,
be there.
Sir, I have one question because
Please,
whenever
sir,
you take,
you can tell your name and tell me, sir, please.
my name is Akshay Garg. I'm an
Yeah,
architect.
yes, sir.
Question normally which everybody ponders is whenever you take an assignment, the best strategy is that you make a questionnaire. So what you will advise on that whenever a valuation assignment comes to you, should you prepare a questionnaire or you first have a discussion with the client and then prepare a questionnaire?
No, no,
What do
no, 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 no. See, before you get the assignment, they will be before going to the site. Actually, you will be getting lot of inputs, lot of input. So
correct?
based on the inputs, actually, see, flat will be totally different, sir, and
Mhm.
commercial building will be totally different, sir, and
Correct.
industry will be totally different. Industry, you will have a different kind of a things will be there. Industry, actually, it is where actually you can see everything in one place,
Mhm.
everything in one place. So
Correct.
whenever you are visiting your place, actually you can start writing the what is required to be note down. You can write down everything. You can write down as a checklist. See, I have seen many of the times actually people, in fact my own valuer, mechanical value, used to criticize me, used to tell that why you are always taking questionnaire before you are going. But after seeing my result, after seeing my result, he started preparing. You will not believe that he is better than me now. So this is an experience. See, though people are criticizing me, when see the result, they started adapting. So I used to do in a different way. What I used to do, I have a ready-made questionnaire for all type of things. Suppose for building, commercial building, it will be different, and for a factory, it will be totally different. It will be umpty number of things will be there. So in that, actually, we will tick whatever is available. If they given me before the inspection, I'll tick everything.
Okay.
And before the inspection, if I see anything remarkable to be clarified, that is why I advise all my people, or my wherever I take class also, I advise you take two things are more important. One is opening meeting, the next one is closing meeting. Recently, what has happened, I just wanted to share you this particular thing. We went to one of the company. See, I am being we also give you certificate for stability. There was one accident in one of the site actually, which is a foreign company. The foreign company has hired a precast contractor and they started erecting the pillars, precast pillar. There was an accident happened last week. Last week, Sunday, there was an accident. In this early morning of Sunday, there was an accident. The column fell down. When the column fell down, actually what has happened, there is no casualty. There is no, luckily there is no casualty.
Being Sunday.
And all the columns has damage. All the columns has damage. That is last week. So the client trying to find out, being an European company, they wanted MRICS to be certified, the chartered surveyor to be certified. So the call was given to one of my friend. Actually, they told me this is the thing. Then I told them, no, you give it in writing for the inspection. Unless you give it in writing, I will not go. I have a bad practice actually. If suppose somebody is telling that, no, you visit the area, I never accept. If suppose it's a big company, I ask them to send a small message in the mail saying that there is a property we wanted to visit or we want to do the valuation. Please kindly take up the valuation. Why? Because many of the times actually we have done the valuation, we have submitted the valuation, and the fees has been not paid even today. This is the very saddest part actually. There actually in that particular thing, we don't have any intimation at all. That is where we are lacking. So I started the practice of this particular thing. Otherwise, I asked them to send a message saying that in the WhatsApp actually we wanted inspection, all these things. The moment I get the message actually from the WhatsApp, what I do, I send the WhatsApp message in the mail saying that you are confirmed in the message through WhatsApp. I am visiting the site so and so date. Why? Because WhatsApp message is not court in the court. It is not accepted. For your information, in the recent judgment, WhatsApp message will not be taken as evidence. So what we have done, we have taken that his message and we posted the message in the mail to his mail saying that we have got the message. We are attending the work actually. Our fee will be like that. Based on that, we will finalize the fees. That is what we started giving. But my advice is, sir, you should have a checklist. That will be better. And you can do one more thing also. Whenever you go to that, actually, any big plant, you buy 40-page long size note.
Okay.
Write down all your requirements in the first page.
Mhm.
And whatever the other things you are going to note down, you note down in the subsequent page. And the questionnaire, sir, in the opening meeting, I'll suggest you make the client to speak. You don't speak. Make the client. You take all the input. You ask the client, what is that? What is this? You tell me on this, how much parameter, how much the capacity, whether it's given in the report, whether it is calculated, whether any passage is there. Your factory is 20 meters inside, whether the passage you use yours or whether any limitations are there on that actually. You take everything. Don't leave that, everything. Then finally, after the inspection, if you are having a recorder, see for every valuer, I suggest it is hardly costing 3,000, 2,000 rupees, sir, that cost. That's all. You take that and buy one electronic distance measuring instrument, which will be much easier, much easier. Really, I'm telling you, you can confidently, you can depend on that ECM machine. So apart from that, actually, what you can do, you start recording everything. And after completion of your inspection, sit down comfortably. You tell him, sir, give me tea. I'll spend some time, 10 minutes. Then later on, we will have a meeting. After inspection, after points, whatever you are given, you just go through that. What is the relevant, not relevant, what is required. You put everything in question for the closing meeting. You take everything. If he is not giving, write down in the reading, this particular matter he has agreed to come back to me after some time. Record clearly. Take down. This will be much useful. This is how it has to be done. And it was very successful for us, sir. We have come out with almost all the things we are able to come out. We used to record everything very clearly. This will be better also.
So in a nutshell, what you are basically trying to convey is, because most of the people I'm sure must have worked in corporates. So the corporate culture is something similar where you have a meeting, you make a minutes of the meeting, note down what are the action points, who have to act on particular point. I think that is a better strategy to follow.
100%, 100%. In fact, in that European company, the moment we visited, actually, they asked us to sit in their office. They given us actually very clearly. They are very clear. They know that the systems which followed in the European company is very fantastic. They've given us all the picture, how it has happened, what it has happened, and we wanted a third party opinion. We wanted a third party opinion, how this has happened. So they have not given me, they have not told me that how the cost was there. But apart from that, everything he has addressed. We inspected the property, we inspected everything, each and everything. We have taken photographs of every incident. We have taken note of each and every point. Then after coming down, we have taken all the, we have given the question. They given each and everything. Then we have given the conclusion. And the report has been well appreciated by the entire team of European. This is how we need to do, sir. This is always, it is helpful. Not only this, any kind of assignment you can try to do that. That will be best. Okay, Garg, is it okay, Garg?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank
Very
you so
nice
much.
of you, sir. Very nice of you. Any questions? It is already 1:20. Anyhow, I am ready.
Yes, sir. I'm Virendra Yadav from Gurgaon.
Yes, sir.
I'm new entrant to this profession.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I am finding difficulty to access land records from websites. Can you give some glimpse of it?
No, land records mean there are two things are there. One is encumbrance of the land owned by some particular people. In Tamil Nadu, I can view the encumbrance certificate of that particular land. What is the extent? What is the boundary? What is the area? Who is the name? Everything I can see. If you are having a doubt, then you'll have to go to SRO for taking the land record. That is one. And inspection is must. Inspection is must. Due diligence is a more important thing. If you are unable to find out, you'll have to depend on the village officer, village administrative, VAO, village administrative officer. With that help, actually, you'll have to definitely do the due diligence. Without that, it is not possible. Really, I'm telling you. In one of the case, actually, we have a land parcel in more than 5 to 6 places. A very big corporate company. We have purchased village map from the government to do the due diligence, and we went to the village administrative officer, and we have taken his help actually to identify the land point, which is the corner. And in fact, they are the well versed people in that. Actually, that whether you know that or not, there is a register called A register. In that A register, who will be living for quite long time, and presently the land is under whose name. Everything will be there in the A register. So village administrative officer, you have to take his help to due diligence of the property. That has to be done. This has to be done. I think I am addressed,
Okay.
Yadav.
Yeah. Right,
And,
sir. Thank you.
and comparables, of course, web portals, you can take comparable.
Sir,
Okay.
I would like to highlight one very interesting phenomena. I am from Sangli in Maharashtra state.
Your good name, sir?
Maharashtra state, Sangli.
Yes.
My place is located exactly parallel to Krishna River. And for last 10 years, it has started flooding. So the entire commercial and mercantile area of this place is now going under constant flood. So now they are thinking of resettling the commercial places to a different place altogether. So in that situation, the existing infrastructure will be shifted to a new place, and the existing infrastructure will be totally useless. So in such a situation, which is catastrophic and totally out of book, how to go about for valuation of the existing properties which are located in the flood zone of the city?
See, need to see the area, need to see the documents, and need to see the government advice on this relocation. Because whenever government take a decision to relocate, there will be a TDR will be given, and what is the kind of compensation resettlement that is called. Of course, you know that land acquisition and rehabilitation and resettlement. In that, actually, whether they are considering anything, and whether they are going to give them some special advantage or something like that. These are all the things has to be seen in the records, sir. Then only we can able to answer for that actually. But because we need to know that what exactly is government thinking, what exactly government is going to add value addition to the property. If suppose the property is going to be completely dismantled because of the flood affected area, then what the government taking decision is the right thing, because
Yes, sir.
frequent flooding will always a problem. See, that is why actually whenever you do the valuation, in my questionnaire there will be one question will be there. There is whether the land is low lying. The next one is whether the area is flooding area or unflooding area. Because whenever you go any property, any factory, there will be one nalla will be there any side of it actually. There will be one nalla will be there. The nalla will be always a risk to the property. That is one of the reason actually not the factory fellow will never answer you. Sir, there will not be any flooding like that, he will say. But if you go to the nearby village, if you inquire any of the village fellow, he will tell the truth. Sir, there will be always flood whenever any rain is there. This compound wall has fallen 2-3 times, sir. Then the real meaning you will get. That is what I am telling. So this is required. See, this your particular point, we need to see the entire thing to address. We can address, definitely we can address, but we need to see all these things.
So would it be possible for you to share your checklist model?
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll share. No issues.
Soft copy, please.
Sir, I will do, sir. Definitely, sir.
Thank
Not
you,
an
sir.
issue.
Thank you.
I'll share it to our Sharma ji, so you can have it. No issues.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, yes, we'll share, sir. We'll share.
So anything?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It was a great session. Real learning first time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
God bless you all.
Thank you.
My best wishes to my fellow valuers to very successful in your field. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we are coming to the end of this session. It is time to thank everyone connected with the successful conducting of this webinar. At the outset, I thank our speaker, Sri K. Sundar Pandian ji, who is associated with us and taken this assignment. Thank you very much, sir. You have dealt with the subject very nicely, and I hope the participants, for participants, it will be useful in their professional practice. I thank all participants also for participating in this webinar. Please share your feedback, remain in touch with us, and provide us any suggestion for our future webinars and CEPs. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Sarita, and thank you, Madam Kajal. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.